You're listening to Unspooled, the podcast where bad prints become learning experiences, eventually. Hosted by Corey from Moji 3D, who somehow has owned more printers than most people have owned filament, and Steve from Layer by Layer, who may or may not be running a small filament warehouse from home. Each week, we dive into printing, projects, people, and the occasional rant. So load your build plate, hit print, and let's get unspooled.
All right, we should be live. Unspooled, episode 41. I almost said 40. 41.
Episode 41.
And how is everyone? How are you, Steve?
I'm cool. How are you, man?
I'm good. I'm tired today, but I'm good. I'm pushing through.
Nice. We added last minute decision. We added Twitter. X to the live stream. So we're live on X tonight, which is pretty cool. Look at you. Yeah.
Hopefully they don't cut us off.
I don't know. I had to switch to premium to do it, so they better not cut us off. Jeez. Yeah. Yeah. What you get in? What have you been getting into?
Not a lot. I think I said last week I recently got back into Magic, playing Magic, so I've just been printing more Magic stuff, and that kind of continued over the last 7 days. I've just been printing more Magic stuff, but other than that, not a whole lot. I was talking with Matt prior to this show that I'm in the process of kind of redistributing my stuff, and I think I'm going to cull my printers down to a very small amount, like the smallest amount I've ever had in at least the last 10 years, down to like 2 or 4, in a way to kind of bring up an idea. I'm running out of ideas of things to do or stuff that I have on the horizon I'm not excited about doing, so I haven't been doing it. So I'm trying to come up with a way to excite myself again, and that's always it always seems to happen the closer we get to the event season. So that's right around the corner, and 3D Printopia is obviously one of those, which we have a good guest tonight to talk about that. So
but let's let it marinate for a second. Me, what have I been doing? I've been playing with the Spark X a lot more lately. I think just because it's my new machine.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying to think, just doing some modeling, doing some more Nomad sculpt. I've been doing a lot more Nomad sculpt than usual, trying to push myself with that kind of stuff, and then doing a lot of Shaper 3D type stuff, making pieces for things, and working on cleaning up my room, my office / more or less workshop. But I mean, outside of that, really just trying to stay focused on design and working on more OpenSCAD code stuff. So that's literally all I've been doing, is just kind of trying to stay focused on at least doing something creative or making something every day. It seems to be working. Seems to be staying more focused. It's warmer weather, so I've been outside a lot more with the dog as well. So
I've been mine is just I've lacked some motivation over the last couple months for some reason. All the things that I'm normally jazzed up to do, designing. I usually never go a day or two without designing something.
And when did you start playing Magic the Gathering again?
No, that was only 3 weeks ago. But I was telling Matt, I sat in front of Fusion the other day, and usually I have no problem. I'll sit in Fusion and I'll bang something out in a couple hours. And I sat in front of Fusion for 2 hours and literally did nothing because the motivation, I don't know. I gotta come up with a way to, it's like writer's block, right? If CAD designers can have writer's block, I have CAD block.
Oh, dude, I've had designer. I call it designer's block. I've had that several times.
Yeah.
First of all, the other thing is, we could start kind of working on what we want to do for our booth for 3D Printopia. So that's always, I mean, because we'll run out of time, before we know it, it'll be September, and we're like, well, what do we want to do in the booth? Like I've been like kicking stuff around in my head, just trying to figure out what I want to do, and what I want to bring, like even printer wise, like, will there be a new printer out that we want to bring and have on the table? Will there be a new printer that we want to, make or whatever and put on the table? So like all of that has just kind of been floating through my head right now. I was trying to figure out like what to do for these things.
The Matt Owl asked, have I picked my 4 printers? Yes and no. I've picked 2 of the 4. The Cheetah Q2 and the Snapmaker U1.
Obviously.
All of the other 14, I don't know. I go back and forth. I've kind of settled on just those 2. The rest of them could all go, and I probably wouldn't be upset. So I'm kind of thinking about only doing those 2, and then picking 2 others to come. And it might be another Q2, and it might just be another U1. I don't know. Just have 2 and 2 for a bit until something else. I've thought about keeping my Voron 2.4, but I also never use that. I'm kind of bored by it, and I just don't really. So I think that one's going to go, and then maybe I'll just then once I'm down to 4, maybe then I'll have like some motivation to like, oh, I got to build one again, and then I'll come up with a new project to build one. But
yeah,
hauling.
No. I mean, I've been thinking about getting rid of the 2 bamboos only because they have snap makers at Micro Center right now.
Yeah.
So that's been a pull for me, is like, but I mean, we also have festival seasons coming up, show seasons coming up. So we may get some new stuff coming from, there's rumors floating around. You also have the new Flash Forge that just kind of dropped. You'll probably have a few other companies drop some cool stuff. Sunlu, it's got a blanket with something underneath it right now. We don't know what yet. Yeah. So,
and look at that. There's just nothing. There's no printers out there right now. After the U1 launch, there's nothing out there right now that I'm like, gotta have it. Right.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
There's some cool stuff, but nothing has been released where I'm like, I have to have that, right? Like I gotta sell a kidney if I need to in order to.
What about
that.
the Atom Forge? The Atom Forge? Okay, really? I'm kind of shocked.
No, I don't buy the whole event that they're doing this week. Like I get it. Yeah. I hope it's amazing. I hope the Atom Form is an amazing printer, and that at some point I'm like, I've got to have one.
Yeah.
Right now, that's not it. And from the last event where it was just basically a paperweight where they weren't able to print with it because it was broken.
Yeah.
What was it? CES, I think. Now I guess it's printing. I've seen some videos from their event that it's printing, and which is cool. I wish them success. Right now, I'm not on board. I don't like nozzle swappers right now. Maybe that changes, but I'm more on the tool changer camp. But like I said, we'll see.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
I was quick to answer no on that, wasn't I? But,
yeah, you were. I'm genuinely surprised.
Yeah.
I think I said it already. We added Twitter to the mix. So
yeah,
if you're not a Twitch person or a YouTube person, there's Twitter, which I'd be surprised if you were one of those other 2, but you are Twitter, but we'll see.
Yeah, I would think that if you're Twitter, you're also YouTube.
It's probably
or Twitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what would be shocking if someone gets in here and be like, "Oh, why aren't you guys streaming on Kick?" I'd be like, "Really?" Like,
because we don't know what people are gonna say on Kick
or Rumble. Like,
Rumble. Yeah.
One of the others. But
what was that other one? There was another one that Clapper or something like that. Or
well, there was also what was it? Started with an M. It was
Matterhorn. Matterhorn is Matterhorn.
No,
the one that you can make your own communities on.
Yeah, it was no, not Megalodon. I don't know, Mastodon.
Mastodon.
Yeah, Mastodon. Yeah.
I think Perillo has a community on
Megalodon.
Mastodon.
I'm going to create my own and call it
I said Matterhorn. I feel like I was kind of close. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, our new guest, she's a programmer. Maybe she could help us make our own streaming platform. We could call it Megalodon.
A designer, a maker, a programmer, an organizer. What else?
Event.
I don't know what you call a knitter. Is it a knitter? Is that safe? Hopefully I didn't
master event organizer.
Like so many hats. But yeah, let's bring her in.
Okay, we'll bring her in.
We got to get the music, man. We got to get some intro music.
Hello, Vicky. How are you?
Vicky. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome.
There you go.
Yeah, we got this. We got some music in the background.
We're
gonna have we gotta have, we could do like
we got the clap.
There we go.
We'll get it right one
day. Yeah. So how is Vicky?
We are hanging in there. We're
nice.
It was well, not to start off awkward, but my optimism, everything is my optimism is intact and my curiosity is intact, but we've had a rough year.
I understand.
But we are hanging in there.
Well, that's good.
Nice.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
So, like I said, positivity goes a long way. So
100%.
And we got a lot to look forward to, and hopefully the next where are we at? We're in March, right? So how much?
March 25th, which
So
Tech Keeper pointed out, it's not a prime number Tuesday, which is when me and Dr. Lawrence Nightingale stream.
Yeah.
But it is 25 is a perfect square, so we can still get a little number theme in there.
Yeah. So
there we go.
Mix in a little math, make everybody happy. So what has been going on in Vicky's world over the last? I mean, we know you've had some a little bit of a rough year coming on, but we're coming out of that, and kind of like over the next few months, what's Vicky going to be doing?
Well, hold on. I guess you have to kind of introduce yourself as well.
Yeah.
We didn't get the full-on introduction, so why don't you introduce yourself?
All right. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Vicky Somma. I come from a little town in Virginia called Occoquan. I am a mother of 2 boys that are now 14 and 12. I have the hobby of 3D printing, which is probably why I'm here. And the hobby of 3D printing has been excessively generous to me. I started, I think, in 2014. I didn't own my own 3D printer. I was making my own designs and uploading them up to Shapeways back at the time. And I think whether you have your own printer or you don't, you send it out to a company. When you have that idea in your head and then you're holding it in your hand, it's completely addictive, completely empowering. So
yes,
I got completely hooked on 3D printing. And like I said, it's been excessively generous to me through 3D printing. I've got to meet a wonderful community of people. I've got back in I think it was 2014, I won a White House Christmas ornament contest. So I got to go to the White House. I've had 3D print in a 3D print in a Hallmark movie. So I got to write a book. The Fairfax County Public Libraries, Fairfax County in Virginia, they do free 3D printing services to everybody who has a library card. And I, for 10 years, have gotten to train those librarians. So that's, another thing that's just been awesome. And let's see. And I've gotten to help organize 3D Printopia, which is hopefully empowering other Vickies, other people to find their people and to find their inspiration.
Nice. You have done a lot.
Yeah, it all adds up. Yeah.
My book, you're talking about what it was Blender. Blender 3D printing by example.
It's Blender 3D printing by example. Yeah. It is excessively outdated, but it's great at the time, and I still get royalties from it. So that's a nice little bonus. Yeah.
It's only as outdated as the person who has the printer, right?
Well, Blender is reshifted their whole user interface, so But, maybe
understand
some
it.
concepts or, like thinking about your overhangs or bridging, some concepts may still translate over.
Yeah.
Well, cool. And then you also have your live stream that you do, right? So that is every other Tuesday?
No.
Oh, wait, no.
I-
Explain. Yeah.
Okay,
We don't
so
math,
I'm
we don't
like,
math good over here.
I am really good at overcommitting, so I always have a lot to do. So I anticipated they wouldn't be able to stream weekly or even stream every other week. So what we did was we picked a convoluted plan, and thank you to the viewers who stick through it, which is Tuesdays that are prime numbers. That's when we'll stream.
Tuesdays that are prime numbers. So you need to know math.
Is it both? Is it the whole number? Is it like 11, 13, or is it just the 13?
The day of the month.
Oh, okay.
So 30 would be next week with streaming next week.
Okay. How many of those are there in a year, or do they fluctuate?
20, 22.
Okay.
So
nice.
it does fluctuate. And what I didn't anticipate is sometimes there's prime numbers like 2 weeks in a row. And so like the first year, Pez Liz did me like the solid where I'm like, 2 weeks in a row. And like she was our guest, which makes things really easy because she's someone that's extremely easy to talk to. And I like to, come up with an introduction, and she's extremely easy to introduce too.
Yeah. In streaming, I mean, we streamed every week for 36, I think it was.
Quite a
and
few.
Then before we finally missed our first week. And it's not easy doing it every week, and especially if you're mixing guests in, like you always have a guest, and that's a lot of times the more difficult part is just scheduling those so that you have one. I that's a good idea, the prime number thing, because it gives you time. It gives you time.
Yeah, sometimes you have a nice like 5 weeks. Of 5 weeks off.
Yeah, I think my first, other than 3D Printopia, my first thing that I saw of yours, not the first thing, but one of the first things, the thing that I think about when I think of you was the custom Slick 3R infill. The Earth infill, like that. When I first saw that, I was like, the nerd that I am, I was like, that's the coolest thing ever. And at that time, I hadn't seen anybody else do that.
I have that one, but I do have one. I have one of the infills. Oops, sweet Jesus.
Did hearts too. Oh my gosh, she's pulled up pictures. I have some pictures too. We need them.
Oh, okay, yeah. If you share your screen, you definitely can do it. But yeah, here's the hearts one, which I thought was freaking insane.
Which Pez Liz has a hand in that too. I think there's people are discussing hearts for some kind of contest for Coco Press, and Pez Liz said something about infill and tagged me.
Yeah.
That was that was one of the coolest things I had seen at the time in that, and I don't think I had ever seen anybody doing.
I still want to do it.
And like it's one of those things that when I saw it, I was like, oh man, I had never really thought of doing that. And
what better way of
my bucket list
of marking your build, your makes, than to have the infill like as a signature, and especially if you could do it where it's something that someone wouldn't know. Like they'd be like, oh, this is a weird infill, and then they print it and like try to sell it, and they're like, hey, that's mine. I made that. It's some of my handiwork.
Infill.
Yeah, it literally has my infill in it.
Yeah. Well, even if you don't like expose it, you could like, hey, this print is filled with love.
Yo, look at that.
A little inside joke for yourself.
Right.
I know it's in there.
But yeah, so how'd you figure this out? Like, how'd you like go about
brute force? I think the hardest part was for me. I was getting the project out of GitHub and getting all the prerequisites installed on my machine. Getting Prusa Slicer to build. But once I was there, I think it's the Hilbert curve. I think I looked at the code for the Hilbert curve, and they're just drawing like a bunch of little points. And so then I pretty much just made a list of these are my points, and we're just repeating them over and over and over again.
Nice. Hilbert curve has become like my favorite top surface lately. I believe it's the top surface. I think you can do Hilbert as a top surface, and it gives it like a grainy look to certain things.
Yeah, it's been one of my favorite top layers for a long time. And actually, Alan Mandick was the first person I actually saw that used it on bottom and top when he was doing like toolhead covers, like the stealth changer, and it looked amazing. And that was I was sold. It's a really good top layer.
It really is. It gets slept on quite a bit.
Print's slow, but
it does.
Yeah.
Besides that, one of the things I saw that you did was the Kurt Vonnegut thing that you did with the. Oh look, I've done some digging.
Yeah.
I thought this was so cool, man. This thing, like the way that you like, did you like purposely print these colors to like get the infill, or did you just make the infill? Did you just make the?
I dug through them.
Oh no!
You're like picking out the little like.
Oh my gosh!
So this also shows, sometimes ideas take a while. I do down here, I'm in Virginia. We have a Maker Faire Nova that I've been doing tables for since I think 2014. And so I always that's licensed to make something for me, I pick a project and make it real. And I think way back in 2017, I was trying to figure out this was before we had filament poop. I'm I want to do something Vonnegut-y. I was going to combine needlepoint. And it just wasn't resonating, and I ended up doing a great blue heron, which we can share later. And if you don't have a picture, I do. But this is years later. I had some filament poop sitting on my desk, and Kurt Vonnegut draws a lot of self-portraits of himself, and he makes little squiggles for his hair, and it looked excessively. Boy, I'm using the word excessively a lot today. It looked a great deal like filament poop.
Yeah.
So then that's where I went ahead and pitched hey, I'm going to make a filament poop Vonnegut for Maker Faire Nova 2024. And I put in my application and I never heard back. And I always hear back, and I'm I always deliver. There was one year, my proposal, I literally just sent them a picture of trash, and I'm I'm going to do upcycling with 3D printing. This is the trash I'm going to use. And they accepted my application. So I was a little worried. And my husband's maybe you shouldn't have put poop in the title. Maybe you shouldn't have done that.
I saw you had that crossed out on the.
So, so then, but no, it turned out they had a scheduling change, so they had postponed the dates and everything. And so then, I got accepted. So this is something that I made for me, and I've never worked with resin. Yep. The frame is, my son rented me his bamboo A1 mini for $5 a day. So we can, we're able to get the frame done in a day. Nice. I'm not sure, you can see the little details in the tan of the that's homage to, I think it's Breakfast of Champions, where Kurt Vonnegut drew what wait, are you monetized? What words can we say?
No, you can say what you want to say.
Oh, okay. All right. So in Breakfast of Champions, he's this is what an asshole looks like, and it's an asterisk, and it became part of his I don't know, just part of his little shtick, because he would when he sign his signature, he'd put that little asterisk there, and it's got famous. So
I'm seeing it now. That's great.
Yeah, that's a little nod to that. And I took a bunch of my favorite quotes, and my son and I learned this is the best thing about Maker Faire Nova projects, or anything. If you do a 3D Printopia project or a Rocky Mount Rip Rap Festival project, you're challenging yourself, and you're you have this deadline, so you're learning new things. So for me, I read a lot of Kurt Vonnegut novels from used books, and so they have that kind of feel, that aged feel, and that delightful smell. And so we wanted to try to mimic that. I wanted to try to mimic that with the quotes. So we learned how to age paper with coffee, and I had never worked with. Well, I had worked with resin as a proof of concept with my 3D Printopia 3D printed derby car to like make sure that I can do the Vonnegut. So, anyways,
yeah, you're talking about this car.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool.
So,
Yeah, see, it's neat because like I like the idea of like of people using the scraps, right? Like,
yes, you know me.
It's always the thing that everybody says is that printers that multicolor printers produce a lot of poop and a lot of waste. Well, if you could find creative ways to make that, and what better way than to make art with it, right?
Yeah. And I will say, from just kind of like going through like a lot of the stuff that you like, I remember seeing like a lot of these one-on-one, but like when you look at them all together, like you like pushing the envelope. I think like it seems like when something new comes out, you're like one of the first people to kind of like take a crack at it, which I think is really cool because like I would have never thought of doing the like a Poundwood Derby car or whatever out of resin, and like it's just and poop and stuff like that. It's just pretty cool to like. It's inspiring in a sense because like we get niched down a lot of times and you're like, oh, I like doing this. This is what I do. But like to see like the different things that you like to tackle and like integrate together is pretty cool. Like because the whole Vonnegut thing, I thought that was like you could do a whole series like this,
Oh
if
yeah.
you wanted
to.
and it would just like I think it would inspire a lot of. Not saying that you have to. I'm just saying seeing people do these types of things gets other people thinking about well shoot, I can take my filament waste and maybe throw it inside of a a sculpture as well and make a cool design out of it or whatever. So it's pretty cool.
It's kind of a whole new form of art, right? Like,
it is.
Who would have thought to do that? People would have painted it or carved it out of wood or
Absolutely.
Molded it or 3D printed the whole thing in general, but to do that is really neat, especially where normally that stuff would just get thrown away or hopefully recycled at least. But now and I'm guessing is this hanging somewhere?
Yes, it's hanging in our dining room right now.
That's cool.
Nice. I'm surprised that it's not hanging in like a coffee shop or something, but like a book coffee shop type. I'm pretty sure someone will buy this, Vicky. I don't know if you want to sell it, but I'm pretty sure if this was hanging in a coffee shop, they would probably buy the heck out of this thing.
Oh yeah.
My do you have a picture of the heron? The
No, I saw it.
Hold on. I'll grab it. I can share my screen real quick.
Go for it.
This isn't the best picture, but so the heron, what I did, and we'll get it up there in a second. It was too sentimental. Like a lot of these things are really sentimental to me. So I don't sell them. But what I do is okay, it should be.
I did not see that at all. You got it, Corey? What do you want me to do?
There we go.
Right.
So this is what my wall looks like right now. Well, actually a few more little cards and thank you notes and stuff like that. But so this is my 2017 maker project when Kirk Vonnegut didn't make the cut. He wasn't kind. So cool. This is combining, I'll zoom in, needlework and 3D printing. So I was trying to go with a like needlepoint stained glass. So the black pieces were 3D printed on a Creality CR10, and everything there, everything in color is hand stitched plastic canvas. 131 pieces. That is and insane. I think this is probably my favorite thing that I've made, I think. But anyways, there's no way I'm going to sell this one. What I could do was I made a second one and put it in a needlepoint show. And someone bought it for their beach house. So
absolutely,
absolutely.
Cool. That is really amazing. Neat. Yeah, that is insane. Especially because I like how you changed the pattern from. Oh yeah,
that was kind of fun.
Well, it's like stained glass meets quilting.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Oh wait, look, I have this is how it started. Was I did like a little sketch.
Nice. That's so cool.
It's
creative. I don't know if I would have ever thought of that. That's so neat.
There you
There's the process.
Yeah.
Well, how many pieces? 121, you said?
131 hand stitch pieces. And a lot of it is at my son's jiu-jitsu class. Like I'll do a lot of stitching or, 3D modeling there. So
Yep. That's cool.
Or
And
if you're at a meeting and you don't need, you can use your hands and you still listen and talk.
Yeah, that is super cool. It's just
for me, I'd probably stab myself too many times, and I can't. I don't do that. The whole my wife does. My wife actually just started needlepoint like 2 weeks ago. It's just like a hobby because our son's getting older, so we have a lot more free time. So she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna pick up a hobby," and it's needlepoint. So we'll see what creative things she comes up with. But
need a 3D print her like a Darth Vader frame or something.
Oh.
She needed that.
Okay, how long did this whole thing take? I put in my proposal for Maker Faire Nova, and it was done in 9 weeks. So I guess I think when I had the proposal, I think I had kind of like a rudimentary 3D model of like what it was going to look like, I guess.
Okay.
So yeah, it's just the stitching is the longest part of it.
Like so like the biggest blue piece right there, how long does that take?
Which one? This one
Like,
down here?
Yeah, like one piece, that big one.
I don't remember. Oh, but this is a fact. Some of these are faster stitches than others. So yeah, I'm so sorry, Corey.
No, I'm just saying, like, I was thinking like something like that. Like, how long would it take to like go through and stitch that? To me, it seems like it would take forever, but yeah. My ADHD, I'd be on to the next thing by the time I could get something like that done.
And a lot of it's watching TV, and I think some of the cattails were done on a car ride, and I had to take a break because I was making myself car sick. So yeah, I guess it's just taking advantage of idle time.
Yeah.
So did you stitch them before adding them all together, or?
So I don't have a picture that I do have a picture somewhere, but I got all the pieces, and then I put the frame together, and I put the black 3D printed pieces on the glass of the frame, and then I just started hot gluing it like from underneath.
Oh, okay, nice. That is so cool. So I see it's cool that you're kind of like mixing the two together. You also have your like Easter eggs and Easter bunnies.
Oh yeah, here I'll unshare. Oh, you unshare.
Oh, let's see.
Or I can remove from stage. There you go. Easter bunnies.
Easter bunnies.
All right. This was this was like either right before or right around the same time 3D Print Bunny started doing her string art with the 3D printing filament, which is absolutely amazing. But at this point in time, my inspiration, my town was doing a little Easter egg hunt, and they wanted a hands-on activity for kids. And I have a lot of yarn here, and I love 3D printing. So what I was trying to do, the little eggs, is what we ended up doing a hands-on activity that they could do. Like they didn't even have to use needles. The holes were so big. Like you 3D print the frames, they had little holes, and then you just string it up like you're doing your own little standing string art. And so we didn't even use needles. We just took like a little piece of tape and wrapped it around the edge of the yarn, so the little kids, they can like pull it through. The peeps was my original concept. But they turned out to be a little too complicated for the little kids. So, the peeps I did for me and some adults.
Those are cool. Those are
really cool.
Like
I like my favorite one is the wine cork turkeys.
Oh,
because my wife, being a wine connoisseur, we have a lot of corks. So I remember seeing those, and I was like, oh man, I got to make some of those. I could make quite a few of them. Yeah. I like the turkeys.
I also have a picture of the famous gazebo. Yeah. And then here's a couple shots of it in the
movie,
in the Hallmark show. Yeah, which I thought was pretty cool. I didn't know that you like these are like insane. You did these in Blender as well? Yes. I know you love Blender. I can't Blender at all. at all. And when I
Yeah.
saw like some of these, like the buildings and the details on them, I was like, this is just insane. I'm like, okay, Vicky, like I feel like you're not fully showing the level of skill that you possess, because this stuff is cool. Like I'm not doing a house. I'm not doing a building at all. Like it's just too much.
Blender is tough, man.
Blender is insane.
And I do use Blender, but sparingly for certain things. But it's if for people that are good at it, you can do crazy things in it.
This is this blew my mind though, because I'm like, wow. I'm like, this is totally cool. This is the one that I think this was the venue for a family member's wedding.
Yeah. So that's the little niche I've kind of stumbled upon. I guess it probably started with the gazebo, which is from my town. And so I was doing a craft fair in my town, and I thought, oh, I'll sell, like, it could be a little souvenir of Occoquan, Virginia. And I didn't think there'd be any interest outside of Occoquan, but I put it on my Etsy shop, and it was like, it's been in, we've made bigger versions for wedding cakes in Canada, one went to Australia. Nice. So because if you find something that people have an emotional attachment to, like people get engaged in gazebos, and they have weddings in gazebos, or they like sit with their grandma in gazebos, and so like that's turned out to be pretty popular.
So how did it wind up in the Hallmark thing? Like, how did that happen? Okay.
There's
wild.
Okay. So I got a request on Etsy, and they're like, can you ship your gazebos overnight international? I'm like, yeah, I mean, like, it's going to cost this much, but I can do that. But so they bought it. I went around and like got everything bubble wrapped and shipped off and everything like that. And then later they said, oh, by the way, it's going to be in a Hallmark movie. And I'm like, oh, all right. And that was August.
Sure. Yeah.
That was August. And so in my mind, I think I'm thinking of Spider-Man movies, like where you have a lot of post-processing or whatnot, post-production processing. So I didn't think it was going to be like December Hallmark movie. So like, it was like the next summer, I followed up on it. I'm like, hey, did it ever make it in that movie? Or is it going to make it in the movie? And they're like, that was last year. So I was a year late finding out that it's in the movie. And I paid $11 for the movie on Amazon. And I thought, we talked about like idle time where like you're doing other things. Like this, I'm like, I'm going to have to watch this whole thing because I'm gonna in the background, or, it's going to be on a bookshelf or something. So I got to be like eagle-eyed. But it turned out it's a whole plot point. And you probably like see this in the synopsis or whatever if you look up the movie, but basically there's a gentleman whose wife got in a car accident and died, and she died getting him a present, which happened to be this gazebo.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
So when they ordered from me, they ordered 2 gazebos, and I'm like, all right. And it was because they broke one because it was in a car accident. So part of the plot point is as he heals and finds a new love interest or a new friend or whatnot, she's an artist and she repairs the gazebo for him. So like they took one to break, and I'm like, oh, if I knew that, like I had a ton of like broken ones, I could have sent you broken ones from like the last decade.
Because it's like literally when you're like, they ordered a gazebo. I'm like, how did this end up in a movie? Yeah. And like it looks like it's like, who was like, you know what, this scene needs gazebos, and then like I
somebody whoever wrote this movie is just like, oh, we'll go on Etsy and just peruse and find a gazebo.
Find a gazebo.
I'm remembering more because the husband and his wife who passed away, like they like hiked to a gazebo as part of their love story, which is goes back to crazy. Find something that emotionally resonates with people that could potentially be something that people want to buy.
To me, the craziest part is they had already wrote a movie about gazebos and was like, shoot, we don't have any gazebos. Quick, go to Etsy. We need you to send. Was it actually filmed in another country though?
I think it was Vancouver.
Canada. Yeah. I was gonna say, because they're like, and we need it to be sent to us across borders. So
someone wants to know the movie. The movie's called The Gift of Peace.
Okay, nice.
Okay,
that's crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. So I also meant to mention you had one of the coolest pieces of attire I've ever seen, and that is the benchy tank. I don't know, the benchy tank.
I remember that.
This thing. I mean, it's like you got ideas like coming out the woodwork here, and like me and Corey were just talking about like getting creators block, and it's like you're like all over the place, not in a negative way, but in like you're constantly, you know, innovating and combining two things that you love into one thing, and that's pretty cool. So what made you want to do this, or what gave you the idea?
All right, so my sister-in-law was getting married last July, and she's still getting married. She just happened to get a poorly timed broken foot like right before the wedding. But originally my idea, like their dress code is they pretty much anything goes. Like they're like I think for women it's Tilda Swinton meets Ziggy Stardust, right?
Oh, okay.
So
anyways, aren't they the same person?
I was like, all right, I'd like to do something 3D printing. I'm not skilled at sewing like Kaizen 3D or you know, but I can crochet. I've never crocheted myself a garment, but I can crochet. So then I started like trying to brainstorm beads and everything like that. And then her wedding got postponed a year. So then I pivoted. I'm like, what can I do for 3D Printopia? And they're benchies.
Then you hit us with the Diana Ross kind of changeover, because you like had your regular 3D Printopia shirt on, and then boom, you got this uber bedazzled tank on. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not what you were wearing earlier. And I was like, okay, that is
funny, because the first time I saw it, I like took a double take, because it just looked like polka dots from the distance, and then I was like looking, and I'm like, how am I going to see what that is without staring and being weird? So I'm like looking, and I was like, oh my God, those are benchies. And it was really cool. Yeah, it's way better in person if you guys got to see it. And it was so cool.
Brought it here too. It's a little too cold to wear tonight.
Hold on.
Am I going full screen?
Yeah. Look at that thing.
Benchies.
So it was so cool.
I think there's 381 little beads on there.
Oh, that's so cool.
So and it fit. So that there were some mistakes made, and my mom, and I think most everybody knows my mom passed away in February, but my mom, master crocheter, she's like, just keep crocheting. There's always options, and she was right. You know, like
that's the good thing with crocheting, right? Like if it's too small, you can just like crochet a little bit more on.
Yeah. So my mistake was with the hips, which this is a good mistake to have. Like I made my hips go out way too bigger than me, so I adjusted it in the back. Adjusted it in the back, but I mean, I guess that's good. You know, like hey, my rear end is not as big as I thought it was. So
I guess I don't know. Plot twist. No, I'm kidding. So I do have this one is probably one of my favorites that I've seen. Okay, I don't know how my screen is. Let me remove it and then add it back. This thing. I thought this was cool. I thought like
solar eclipse necklace.
Yes, I'm a space person, so when I saw this, I was like, what in the world? I was like, that is freaking awesome. And then you used some like glow in the dark filament on it as well.
Glow fill, So when was that first total eclipse? The one in Tennessee, was that 2017?
Think so, like 2017. Okay,
so all right, and this shows that I am not a good business person whatsoever. Like I made I made this for myself. I maybe had 2 extras, and we went down to Tennessee, and I'm wearing it, and like everybody wanted one.
Listen,
and
when I saw it, I wanted one. I was like, I want a choker. I'm like an eclipse choker. This thing is awesome.
Yeah. That's cool. But it's
you should have brought like basically you say you should have brought like 50 of them, right? And then you could have made like a whole bundle. Yeah.
Pay for your trip. Right?
Yep,
Yeah,
didn't even think of it.
Then you just got to watch out for the next total
Well,
solar eclipse.
I think a lot of times, like I know for me, when I make something or I do a design, I'm doing it for me.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I'm like, oh, this is really cool and I love it. But in my head, I don't often think, oh, other people are going to like this too. So I usually, if I make something, I just make one or two for myself or one or two for the person who asks me to make it for him. But I never really think, oh, tons of people are going to love this thing. So, but something like this, I mean, I look on Etsy and I see things like this all the time and they become really popular because, and like you say, something like that can have an emotional connection, right? Because so anybody who has ever seen a solar eclipse, we had one here. I'm from Maine. We had one, what was it?
2024.
2024. And it was a full eclipse. Like, and we went up to like Holton, Maine, which is like way at the tip, right? And, or not at the tip, but pretty close. We went all the way up and there was like an emotional reaction that everybody in the crowd had to it, you know, and I think if you see that with someone, like a family member or a loved one, you're always going to remember that, right? Because how often do you get to see that?
Yeah.
You know, so it's neat. I think something like that would be really cool and you know, fairly easy to make with 3D printing. So.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you could churn these things out. You got to get ready for the next eclipse.
Yeah, when is the next one's in like Spain, isn't it?
Yeah, our family is thinking of going to Spain, or not Spain, but you know, we're thinking of going over
somewhere
there
to see it in totality.
Yeah, so we saw the 2017 one in Tennessee, and we saw the 2024 one in Texas. So.
Nice.
Dude, I remember a friend of mine.
If you go to Spain, you need an entire carry-on full of these.
Yeah. Dude, I know a friend of mine went to see it in Tennessee, and he was like, it was so crowded in Tennessee, like people were just everywhere looking at the eclipse. So I can imagine if you had like you said, a box full of these things.
Yeah,
man, because it just looks so cool. You know, it's just the thought of the whole thing. Like, oh, that is such a genius thing. You need to like make sure you, protect it so that no one else can make it.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's on printables.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's one of the things I've had time to upload. But I think I like using the glow in the dark filament for like purpose, not just for another one I do is like a little like firefly ornament.
Oh, yeah.
Rear end is glow in the dark. So
I still have my first roll of glow in the dark filament. It's almost 10 years old because I don't use it for like everything. I just use it when I need to use it, like you said. Like, and so I still have like that first roll.
I like the simple Bilby magnet you did. The Easter Bilby there. I don't know if you saw that, Steve. That one's wicked cute.
Yeah, I did. It was freaking awesome.
The marsupial there.
It goes back to my early days were all layer changes. Nice. Did a lot of layer swaps.
So quick question. How'd you wind up with the 1440 makers movement? How'd you wind up a part of that?
I don't know. I guess they
just recruited you.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Carson is one of the organizers, and she's a longtime volunteer at 3D Printopia. So perhaps she got me in somehow. But yeah, they asked a couple years ago if I could organize a panel, and so I guess I did an okay enough job that they had me.
Cool. Like, we need to have her come back.
I got upgraded. I had a lot of, I think I have 6 hours of content over the 24 this last time.
Nice. So, all right, you mentioned 3D Printopia. Can you give us like a little background on how all of that came? I think we've heard the story, but not everyone knows the story of how you guys created the biggest 3D printing convention on the East Coast, Rap Festival on the East Coast. So,
all right. So, disclaimer alert: I am the only organizer who's never been to any of the other IRFs. I haven't been to Murph.
Okay.
I haven't been to Rocky Mountains or to a Smurf overseas. But some of the organizers that had gone to Murph, they were there, and just like a maker fair, or hopefully that you'd feel with 3D Printopia, they left more inspired than when they came. And so they're like, we need to like empower people to have this kind of energy and experience. And so somehow along the line, a whole bunch of people got an invite to a conference call, and I showed up to the conference call. And then out of that conference call, I think like 4 or 5 people kept going. And so that's how I ended up on one of the organizers of 3D Printopia. And that was also 2017, I think.
Yeah.
Well, back then it was called the East Coast Rip Rap Festival.
Yep, because that was the first, I think so. It was 2018 I went, the first one. And then I didn't go back again until 2024. So I've been 2028, 2024, and then 2025. So
it's funny. You said back then it's called East Coast Rap. It still is. The community still like Earth.
Still call it Earth.
Listen, I added it to my keyboard shortcuts. So I just type in Earth and it just replaces it with 3D Printopia. Because I'm like, every time.
It's just easier to say it. But if I'm talking to somebody who is not in the community, I will call it 3D Printopia. That way, when they look it up, they're not like, well, there is no Earth, but yeah. Just for simplicity's sake.
Yeah, with my children, if I have a meeting, I'll just say I have an Earth meeting, so they know what that means.
Yeah. What was I going to say? So, like, I think my first year was 2022, and I think I heard about it and was like, this is happening where? And like, this is like in my backyard. I was like, I gotta go, and I wound up going on like the Sunday, and I was like, after that was super inspired, and I was like, okay, well, I was like, there's no way that this is gonna be happening like in my backyard, and I'm not gonna like participate. So I volunteered, and then that's when I met you all, and it was super. I was like, this is like, I'm like, I'll keep volunteering until they tell me they don't. To not volunteer anymore or whatever. And so that 2022 was my first one. But 2023 was the first time that I was able to participate, and I worked with you a lot of times when I was there, doing entrance and stuff like that, which is super. To me, it's fun because people come in so excited. You see them like jazzed up, and you're like one of the first faces they see, and I think when people come there and they see you, they're like, oh, okay. And you hit them with that energy and that optimism. And they're like, oh, this is about to be fun,
Oh, okay.
I think in 2024, I probably delivered like 600 waters. we were just, there was me and another guy. I can't remember his name because I was sitting at the table with Steve up front or out back, technically. But we were just delivering waters everywhere because everybody was so hot that year. It was, technically, you guys are the reason this show even exists. Yeah.
3D
Printopia. That's how Steve and I met volunteering for
that's actually
3D Printopia.
That's actually pretty cool. But yeah, I'm trying to think. You got anything coming up? Any projects or anything coming up?
I would not say, so Jeff Prince said in the chat that I should go to Rocky Mountain Rip Rap Festival, and I owe them volunteer hours because every year Justin comes and volunteers for us, and I'd love to like pay him back. And I thought this was going to be the year, but my mom passed away. We're figuring out our new normal and our new sustainable schedule. So if anybody's there and you're not volunteering for Rocky Mountain Rip Rap Festival, volunteer in honor of me. So I can't be there, but maybe I can get them another volunteer.
I think volunteering at any of the events is great, especially if you're someone who has never been. Like I hear it from people sometimes that have never been, and I hear sometimes from people they're like, well, I don't have anybody to go with, and I don't want to go by myself, and I don't, I feel weird and out of place. And I'm like, if that's the case, volunteer, because that is the easiest way to meet people, to get to know people. volunteering. And I think some people are like, with 3D Printopia, you don't have to volunteer. You can volunteer all day, every day, or you can just volunteer an hour a day, 2 hours a day. So,
we do 2-hour shifts to hopefully make sure that you can catch things on the build platform or the death racers or whatnot.
So, you can just go and it's, I mean, like I said, I did it again in 2024 because I hadn't been since 2018. And I was like, oh, I'll go and just help out. And I think it's a good way for people, especially if you're new, to meet people.
It was funny because we had a table last year and I was like, hey guys, I gotta go. I volunteered. I'll be back in like 2 hours. Yeah. Like literally just
and I volunteered for load in, but by the time we got there, they were like, oh, we're good. So we just loaded ourselves in.
Steve, a fun fact that one year he was volunteering up a registration and we didn't know in the Eventbrite organizer app that you could look people up by last name and check them in that way. And that's now like this past year is training all the volunteers on that feature that you taught us.
It's super fast. Some event I was at and we used it and I was like, oh, you can do it this way. And it's like, boop, 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 and you can just get people logged on super fast. But anyone in the anybody have any questions or anything? Oh, Vicky, did you want to talk any more about 3D Printopia?
While they think of questions.
Okay.
I do want to go back to something that you said it's really touched me, where you're saying like that when people walk in the door, they get to see that optimism and everything like that. And that sentiment is meaningful to me. The first time I ever did a maker fair, and first off, I didn't think that my projects were good enough for a maker fair. It was not on my radar. Someone from the maker fair actually reached out to me and said, hey, you should come. And so there's a little tangent, but if you see someone that, has some cool projects or cool ideas, encourage them. They might need that little nudge. They might have that little bit of imposter syndrome, hey, you should get a table and you should share this. And it doesn't have to be 3D Printopia. It could be any event. I'm happy if someone gets the courage to share at any event. It doesn't have to be my event.
Look at that.
But when I walked into that first Maker Faire Nova, I did not feel like I belonged. I didn't even have my own 3D printer at that time. And I was immediately greeted by 3 3D printing ambassadors, Matt Gorton from Printed Solid, and Andrew Sink, who I think a lot of us know, and a guy named Tim Paris. And they were instantly made me feel like I belonged and this is my place. And it didn't matter that I didn't have my own printer. They were interested in my work. And so my aspiration is to help people feel that kind of welcome and that kind of support. So if they're coming in registration, and if hopefully my enthusiasm and friendliness is resonating, but hopefully that's paying it forward for what those gentlemen did for me.
Yeah, Polymorph said, I just wanted to say thanks to Vicky for organizing. I had a great time at 3D Printopia last year. And then Jeff Prince said that he was like, he wants to say he'll volunteer at 3D Printopia this year if you'll have him.
More the merrier.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny. I even Polymorph this. We met him this past 3D Printopia, which we talked with him in Discords and other live chats forever, and then you finally get to meet someone that you've known by screen name forever. So you have to put a lot of to names that
sir, I already knew Polymorph because I go to Murph. Okay, that's why I know. No.
Too hot.
The ocean and Goshen, that's where I hang out.
So with 3D Printopia this year, if you want me to talk a little on that.
Absolutely.
When we started in 2018, I think we had 723 people come. And if you see some of those old pictures, you'll see our old arena and a lot of empty tables and everything. And every year we just gradually grew. Last year we had 3,005 people. And the 3,005, that fifth person, that last person was my niece. We were we added up all the numbers, and I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't buy a ticket for my niece. So now we're So, and if you've been to the event, you can sense that in the recent
It's
years, we
growing.
were kind of outgrowing it. The arena there was just phenomenal and worked with us. We tried to get creative with what we were doing, but we knew we had to go with another venue. So we are moving this year to the Pennsylvania Convention Center. It's in downtown Philadelphia, and we're going to have 100 square feet inside of open floor space. And we're going to have, there's a 1 year where it was kind of going to be, there's threat of rain. And we're like, what does that do to death racers? What does that do to dragsters? We don't have that concern here at the Pennsylvania Convention Center because we're going to have an RC arena inside.
That's
and
cool.
The tug of war with Jeff, the 3D Gloop industrial robot, that's going to be inside as well. And we're going to have more exhibitor spaces. So Corey, you mentioned you love that outer ring with the makers, and we want to support and uplift our makers. And we're going to have more exhibitor spaces. Again, if you have anybody that you think deserves to show their work, give them that nudge, let them know we would love to have them. And you can have makers of all skills. You could be a beginner, you can be an expert. This past year, my what was he was 13 years. My 13-year-old son was a first-time exhibitor at 3D Printopia. Because our community, as you all know, is super duper supportive. So even if you're early on your journey, get there, and they're gonna want to talk to you and just help you on your journey. So one thing that is different this year with the exhibitor booths, we are having a $50 refundable deposit. So you put it down, and then once you're there both days, then we refund it to you.
Yeah, it's smart though, because a lot of times people say they want a table, you take a table, and then you don't come, and it takes a table from someone else who was willing to, come and participate and be a part of the community. Stuff happens, but it kind of sucks when someone else would easily have taken that table over. That's actually pretty cool. I saw that and I was like, that's smart.
Yeah.
I just checked my messages, and there's something I'm allowed to share if you want to see the floor plan.
Yeah.
So you can share my screen. So this is what we're working on with our little floor plan. I'll zoom in. It's kind of, we're working on a little interactive, so you can see if it's available. So here's our big RC arena. We have a nice vendor break room, which I have learned to appreciate in recent years. You work the registration desk, and a lot of times I would just eat a protein bar and nuts. And I've learned in the last couple of years that my body needs a real meal. So the break area is there. Here's where Jeff's going to be, down here in the 3D Gloop, and we got the derby going. And one thing that's neat,
massive.
Yeah.
The minimum booths is 10 by 10. If you're a company, you want to do a gold sponsorship, then I think that's $750. So what doesn't translate well from the previous year is, we had 8 by 8 booths, right? So now you have to go to a 10 by 10. And so I think really that hits into play if you had 2 8 by 8 booths. But one thing to keep in mind is we have a lot of little corner spaces here. Zoom in. So you can still, if you're used to 2 8 by 8s, you can have this is 10 feet perimeter. You have a 20-foot perimeter on these corner spaces because we have so many walkways now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
cool. Will there be food being sold through the convention center, or?
I think we're right across the street from that famous market.
Okay. Cool. Nice.
There's definitely no shortage of food in that area.
That is so many booths.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So, we're right across the street from the Reading Terminal Market. And I believe there are concessions there, but we'll have to fact check me on that.
Yeah. That's going to be cool. That's a lot of booths. So
I'm excited about it.
I can't wait to see it. Yeah. And so many walkways. So there's a lot of visibility for people. That is awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah, and hopefully, like I said, I think it will spread out the crowds. Like especially there were this past year thing. Like there were times where you would like not going to go down that middle aisle. I'm going to like walk around to the outside because whenever there was like a big like giveaway or something that one of the booths were talking about, it would you'd kind of get packed in there a little bit. So I think this is going to be really nice.
Yeah.
Like I think it's like it definitely was getting too big for the previous place. It's moving to Philly. For me, I'm biased because it only took me 30 minutes to get to the arena. But I think with moving to Philly, it kind of centralizes it to like New York, New Jersey, Pittsburgh, Maryland, DC, and Virginia. Like people from all those places. It's not really that difficult to kind of get to there, and I think you're gonna pull more people from the north to the convention. So it'll be cool to see, and it's in a downtown area, so you'll get organic people that are like, oh, it's a and then just pop in, just because it's something to do that weekend.
Yeah,
and you're closer
to like welcome in more people. And show them what 3D printing's all about, and maybe they'll find their hobby and find their people.
Right. So that's actually pretty cool. That is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Cool. So let's see. Any questions from the? I keep getting ready to say peanut gallery, but
I think too. Like if you're in like Ottawa, if you're the Canadian area too, you're closer too. So that's kind of cool.
The Pennsylvania Convention Center, they claim that Philadelphia is one day's drive of 40% of the U.S. population.
I think that's true.
I buy that. Yeah, I buy that. Yeah,
I've driven to Chicago from here, and we've also driven to Toronto from here. So,
because I know they refer to. There's this reference of what they call Philly New York overlap, and they've created this like what they call it, this like I can't remember, they have a name for it. It's like this I-95 corridor between Pennsylvania and New York. It has something to do with Delaware too, but
the mega metropolis, is that?
Yeah, something like that, and it's basically created like this. They just call it that overlap, where it's like a whole another state within a state within states.
My brother comes from Jersey down to. He's been twice. He's been 2 years in a row to 3D Printopia. So for him, it'll be even closer. So I can see if he's willing to come down to Maryland. Jersey's Philly, it will be next to nothing for him. It's like an hour and a half probably from his house. But then you have a lot of people who. The trains and everything else, they can just take a train straight into the city and come to the convention. And it could be a day trip there, because it ends kind of early. I don't know if it's going to end at the same time. Usually it ends around like 5 or 6, right? And so you could make it a day trip. You could come up in the morning, go to the convention, and then leave and be back home in your bed by nighttime from most of those places.
Yeah. So, Saturday will end at 5 p.m. and Sunday 4 p.m.
Yeah, cool.
I mean, I think I could be like a 4.5 hour train ride from Boston, so it's actually not bad.
And that's 4 hours that you could do stitching.
That's true. Yeah, I need to bring some Band-Aids with me.
Someone named Ryeth, I don't know, said they'll definitely be there from Ohio. So yeah,
thank you.
Cool. That's cool.
Yep.
Yes. Oh, and I'm with you, Pez Liz. Trains are so relaxing. You can do journal writing. You can get, you can do all sorts of things.
My wife was pitching taking the train to Orlando, and I was like, I don't care either way. I don't mind the drive, but train would be pretty nice.
To be honest, I'd rather take a train than I would a plane.
100%.
I just like trains, but I'm not,
I think Ellie. Wasn't Ellie from Cocoa Press just posting about that today? Or somebody was posting about, somebody else, Ellie commented, but somebody posted like, hey, airport people that had to wait for 4 hours. I just had like 15 minutes. Yeah.
I wish the United States as a whole was more like Europe as far as connected with trains, because I think I would love to be able to go more places on trains versus planes, but
for sure. All right,
and not
so
have to take a bus.
we got like 15 minutes. Vicky, did you have anything else you wanted to plug? Any of your book number 2 maybe, or like a Blender Guru class or something that you're hosting? Because I tell you right now, I'm my son does Blender. I'm good. I'll stick with Nomad Sculpt.
Oh no, yeah. I tell people, like the advice, like what's the best exercise program? It's the exercise you're gonna do. So like what 3D modeling program is the best one is the one that works with your workflow that you're comfortable with, and so. And I still I don't use Blender exclusively. I still do a lot of stuff in Tinkercad. And and actually when I teach librarians, I'm teaching in Tinkercad. And
Tinkercad is nice now.
It's really nice. Like as a heavy Fusion 360 user, I've heard people say like, "Oh, I need to learn Fusion so I can get out of Tinkercad." And I'm like, if it works for you and you can make all your stuff in Tinkercad, it's perfectly fine. Like it's a good, if they ever added chamfers and fillets in Tinkercad, it would break the internet. Everybody would use it.
You can kind of do them now. You just have to use the custom shapes or the new tool. But it's insane. But sorry, go ahead.
No. I have a Tinkercad example. If you
go for it.
It also ties into the Tinkercad does the SVG imports, just like most of the slicers nowadays too. So my son, I think this was last year's Derby. 2025. He wanted to do a Fortnite car, and it's all SVGs that we pulled in, extruded, and then like made the right size and did our holes all in Tinkercad. And I think example I like to show the librarians is, oh my gosh, I think it was Maker MI, where he was doing the maker bricks. Remember all those maker bricks that were on X? I can find a slide. Local maker, and I think he had MI at the end. Yeah. They're all in Tinkercad. He does them all in Tinkercad.
I got mine right. I got one right here. Yeah, this is one of his. I didn't know he did them all in Tinkercad though.
Oh, here, let me get off so you can be full screen.
Look at that. That's one of his bricks. I didn't know he was doing these in Tinkercad. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If I can get it. If I can hit it. It's behind the clock for me.
Yeah, the SVG import in Tinkercad is pretty awesome. I don't think a lot of people know about it either.
Yeah. The thing to make it big for just me is behind the counter, so I couldn't hit it.
Oh, okay.
But cool.
I think I have a collection of all of his maker.
He had a bunch of them at Murph the year before last, just on the table. You could just take whichever ones you wanted. So he made me one, and then I took one of his. So that's pretty cool.
If I remember, I think I did that in Tinkercad with the SVG. So that says nice. That says Japan Rep Rap Festival, if anybody was wondering.
Oh, did you see those jackets? Aren't those jackets amazing?
Yeah. Are they gonna actually get them made, or are they just?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I messaged Judo that I wanted one.
Oh wait, was that
I was like, I need one.
Was I drooling over an AI image?
Yeah, you were.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure. I thought so. They said that he might have found someone to make one. I don't know, but
they still look cool. They like AI or not.
Well, I have to have one. Like that will be mine. I may take the image and just get one made for myself then, if he's not going to make them.
Nice. But so we're getting close to 9:30. Like I said, so where can everybody find you?
All right. I think I haven't been very active on social media this year because it's been a rough year. But I'm mostly on X. On Facebook. I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on Instagram. But I think probably what you'll be seeing more activity, especially as we get closer to September or in the summer, is at 3D Printopia. You will see more news on X. We are also working on hotel room blocks, so that information will be disseminated out. And
nice.
So
that's cool. And people can catch up with you on your website, or
yes, I do have a TGAW website. Actually, that's kind of neat. It feeds. It's got WordPress posts behind it that are kind of feeding on a homepage now. Which
Nice.
my goal this year was to do 3 blog posts a month. I'm not
that's
doing
a lot.
that. Yeah,
I was gonna say,
it's not happening.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've had those thoughts myself. And how many have I done? Donuts.
Okay, let me right there.
Yep.
But the cork
Yeah.
cork turkeys, the wine cork turkeys, my favorite one.
Oh, let's jump back. You were talking about your creator block, your designer block, right?
Yep.
Those cork turkeys were when the COVID-19 pandemic hit and we had lockdown. It was a big shift in our families' schedules and activities where
Yep.
we're doing the homeschooling, and I just did not have what the spoons to do any designing, right? I printed some of those face shields, but I didn't really do a lot of printing or designing, and that cork turkey was what brought me back. That was like the first thing, like where
Yep.
I have like
We're out
I
of it.
felt that juices. That was like that
Yep.
was November of 2020 where I felt those juices again. Yeah.
That's cool.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
take that one.
the takeaway there is be kind with yourself, and
Yep.
you just have the confidence that a spark is going to come, an idea is going to come.
Yep.
Your best ideas aren't behind you. You just
Yeah,
there's going to be more.
Like we've talked, Unspooled, we have a Discord, and a lot of times I think a lot of people's or like motivation and things can come from things like that, where you're in a community, whether it's Discord or Twitter or whatever social platform you're using. If you're active in that, you'll find what people are doing, and sometimes that can bring some motivation to you to do something. So that's usually what I do, is I kind of look at what my friends and colleagues and all the things are doing, and it usually will refill my battery as far as 3D printing goes and filling. Oh, he's back.
Yeah. That was the dog.
Oh, the book.
Aw.
I was surprised you couldn't hear him.
No.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, so we're 9:22. We appreciate you coming on, Vicky.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. We are all very excited to see what you do next. We can't wait for 3D Printopia.
Also, everyone, make sure to check out the podcast.
Yeah.
With Vicky and Dr. Nightingale, with the coolest
Keep
name
track
ever.
of your prime numbers.
Tuesdays that are prime numbers.
Yes, Tuesdays are prime numbers. And make sure to follow Vicky on, like, she's always doing something cool. So make sure to follow her on social media and see what you might get inspired by something. Yeah, it's cool to have you, Vicky.
Yeah.
I was glad that you could do it. You were someone like I think we had on the list like way before I even asked you. I was like,
and then we were like, oh, she streams on Tuesdays too. So
yeah, exactly. It really was, yeah.
Yeah.
We switching to Wednesdays for us was like perfect, because it's like a lot of the people that we wanted to have. We're having Cyber Jules on next week, and she streams on Tuesdays. Sometimes she streams on Wednesdays too. Yeah, Cyber Jules next week. So I was like, oh yeah, the Wednesdays is where it's at for us, at least for now.
Yeah. Until a bunch of people start streaming on Wednesdays, and then a year from now we'll have to switch to Thursdays. Right. We'll just keep rotating it.
We just keep rotating it.
Yeah.
Or we just stream every day. Yeah. Be the villains. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, we appreciate you coming on, Vicky.
Oh yeah, this is a blast. I'm glad it's not a 3-hour stream though.
No. We try to keep it to an hour and a half. So
we're old. We're not doing a 3-hour stream.
No, we eventually have to sleep.
Yeah.
My children get me up at 5, so
oh
I
my
appreciate
gosh,
not being at 3 hours. Yeah.
Respect children that can get up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, they don't have to. Like they can.
You said they don't have to. Oh,
they want to because they want to get in some of their like computer time before school. They can.
Okay.
They can sleep in a lot more, and still make it to school on time.
Yeah,
I respect that, because I have to wake my son up like 4 or 5 times every morning, and And
Yeah, I have a 14-year-old freshman boy, and that's the same thing. Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
getting him
it's
out of bed is the interesting part.
it's like, dude,
I have
woke you up like an hour ago.
a story. So
Okay.
my father, he used to drive me to high school, and he was a very sound sleeper, and it was impossible. Like, I'd have to wake him up, and it was just impossible. So one day I took bologna out of the refrigerator and I put it all over his arms and legs, and then I let the dogs in, and that got him up.
Oh, no, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
And we already know you have a dog, Steve, so you can use
Right.
I would say I have 2
man.
German Shepherds, so I may have to get some bologna as a
I
way of getting my
could.
son out of bed.
That would be pretty solid.
That's
That would be
awesome.
pretty solid.
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm.
Like, once again, Vicky, thank you for coming on. We're gonna
Yeah.
let you go, and we'll be seeing you soon, relatively soon. It's like 6 months from now.
It'll
But
go fast.
still, I know, right? It will
Yeah.
go fast. So
All right,
thank you
Vicky.
again. Go ahead.
Have a good night.
Yeah. me.
All right, that was
Nice.
Vicky.
Yeah,
A pleasure as always.
always.
And I do mean that it will go fast.
It
right?
will go
like
fast.
3D Printopia, like we'll be like working on what we're gonna do for 3D Printopia next or at the end of the year, and and we'll be talking, and then all of a sudden it's gonna be like it's in 3 weeks.
Yeah, we're coming up on a year of Unspooled. Not necessarily a year of episodes, but a year of Unspooled, which would be pretty cool. I think
Pretty
it's like
close. We only missed a couple weeks, right? 2 weeks
we missed like 4 weeks total, I think.
total. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
But
bad.
so yeah, coming up on a year of Unspooled. We got to keep that in mind because we always miss all of the round numbers. We're like, oh, we got to remember da 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 da, and then we never
We'll have to
remember.
do 50.
We have to do 50.
50s you get like
50
half
would probably
a
be like, yeah, that'll probably be in like June though. But yeah, so I don't know, maybe we come up with something cool for a year of Unspooled.
Maybe we could do a 24-hour year of Unspooled stream.
Listen, I'm down. Just people will learn about how many times I go to the bathroom over the course of a day. It's a little bit much.
Understand. We're both in our 40s. We have to frequent the bathroom.
I just have to hook up some kind of contraption. You just watch me, my eyes be like, and then release. So as usual, GTR Dad said Arc Raiders Unspooled live stream.
Yeah. Hey, I'd be down for that.
Yeah,
I would play Arc Raiders for 24 hours straight on stream.
Listen.
Especially if we raised money for something.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be cool.
And then we could have all the people in the 3D printing community that play Arc Raiders stream sniper us and kill us for 24 hours straight.
Right. Look, it just we would have to have it for charity just to justify it to our wives, or else they won't believe it. Like, oh, babe, listen, I gotta play this video game all day
for 24 hours straight.
24 hours straight. Because for charity, it's for the kids. For the children.
Yeah. We should actually plan that. That would be fun.
Oh yeah, it could be 24. It doesn't necessarily have to be all Arc Raiders, but I'm just saying. No. Whatever.
It'd be pretty fun if it was Arc
Maybe
Raiders.
maybe we have to look at the calendar and see when our first episode is, and then
we have to reach out to Embark, and maybe we could 3D print something for Embark and do a thing with Embark and be like 24-hour.
Embark's gonna be like, who are you guys?
Who are you? Hey, they're small enough of a
here's the key is that you go for one of the employees lower on the totem pole and not straight to the top.
Yeah, you gotta find one that likes 3D printing too.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to like socially stalk all Embark employees until we can find a social picture with one of them with a 3D printer in the background. No, that's the one we go after.
You go after the designers. That's what you go after.
Yeah, because they have to have. If you're a game designer, you own a 3D printer.
You should.
There's no way. At least one of them.
Yeah, at least one of them. Mm-hmm. And we just work our way in through that, and it's like, oh yeah, hey, by the way, we have a podcast.
We could do a life-size 3D print of a Rocketeer.
No, I'm afraid of those things. Even even in game. I don't want to see one in real life.
I'd have to make the noise too. I'd have to make the sound and the lasers.
Dude, I hear those sounds in real life now. Like, do you especially the
haunt my dreams.
The probes. I hear the probes occasionally, like when I'm like outside. I'm like, that sounds like a probe.
You know who I bet? You know who I bet hears pops 24 hours a day? Yeah, I think he's laughing right now, Matt. I bet Matt hears pops. I bet Matt is walking around his house and goes, "Oh my god," because he sees like a red light and a pop and like freaks out.
Look, hey!
So yeah, so if anybody has played Arc Raiders with us, it's funny. We all have a way that we die frequently. Like for me, right now it's fireflies. Fireflies burn my face off all the time, and for Matt, it's pops and fireballs,
pops and ledges.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think I just came up with an idea for 3D Printopia. I literally just came up with an idea. Bingo, light bulb. Okay. Motivation, Vicky, motivation. I just got my motivation. Yeah,
nice. All right, we're gonna raid into Fedor. He's streaming. He's on. Oh, cool. He's on YouTube as well. I don't know if you can raid into him over there as well.
I don't even know if you can, and if you can, I don't know how to do it.
They're a little funky, but we'll raid into them here. We had Fedor on back in December, I think. Amazing guy. He's always making or building or like connecting something to something. You know, he's a great watch. If you're not watching him, hang around for the raid. Once again, we appreciate you guys as usual.
Definitely.
Next week,
and he's just generally a nice guy.
Yeah, he's generally a nice, and he's from Maryland, so. So hang around for Fedor. Next week we'll have Cyber Jewels. The week after that, we have New Makers. Some guys from New Makers are coming on. Blazing Prince and Jonathan from New Makers are gonna pop in and talk about some of the stuff that they're working on. So as usual, we appreciate you guys. Thank you for hanging out with us. You know, we need a like an outro phrase or something. You know, we'll work on it. Somebody give us something
like a coin, what's Joel's
high five?
The high five, but then he's got this whole spiel like choose a fight you believe in and something. It's really good.
I don't want anything that good. I want something like almost terrible. Yeah. But, look, up and out.
up and out. There we go. Guys. That's a good one.
Hang around for the raid.
All right. See you guys.